What is up, everyone? I'm Ryan from Fireside Knicks with my friend and co-host Dylan Backer. And tonight, this isn't just a postseason game. This isn't just a crucial game for the Knicks. It's do or die, right? I can't make it any more blunt than that. I can't say it any other way. This is a must-win for the New York Knicks, not just because they want to have an advantage in the series or whatever. No, that's all out of the window now. It's about if you lose, you go home. We've talked about this, yesterday with our, talking about games 3 and 4. Is it likely that the Knicks win this series? It's not, right? Statistically speaking, it's unlikely they win this series, but that doesn't mean the series is over, right? 3-1 comebacks have happened. 3-0 comebacks have not happened, but 3-1 comebacks have happened. So, can the Knicks etch their name in history? Maybe, but we'll have to wait and see. It starts with Game 5. You got to take it one game at a time, and it's a big matchup for the Knicks as they return to Madison Square Garden. But before we get into all of that, Dylan, how you doing today, my friend? And let me know what your thoughts are and how you're feeling coming into Game 5.
Right. So, like you said, it's, all that advantage stuff, it's gone. You have to just win these rest of these games this series or you're done. It's as simple as that. So, just looking at that, Game 5, you're back at Madison Square Garden. You have a chance to at least prolong the series a little bit longer. You're at home. This is your opportunity to do it. You won one of the games at home earlier this series in Game 2. You have a chance to keep it going, at least extend the series to 6, hopefully 7 if they can keep it going. Like you said, it's statistically unlikely that they do come back, but we're not just going to definitively say it's definitely over because, like you said, 3-1 comebacks have happened. So we're not going to rule out a comeback just yet, but the odds are very much against them right now. I think everyone knows that by now. Down 3-1, it's never in favor. I think the Knicks are actually favored to win tonight's game. I think they're like 3.5 point favorites or something like that, but still, regardless, that you're looking at just one game. They still have a whole series to win. They got three games to win and none to lose. That's pretty much how it's going to be the rest of this series. They lose any more games, it's done. And if you're the Knicks, you at least do not want it to end at Madison Square Garden. I'm sure the Knicks would love to come back in this series, and I think everybody would want to. But at the very least, don't lose in 5. Don't lose at Madison Square Garden. Just don't do that. Try to put up a fight. If you put up a fight, then, I'm not going to, obviously I won't be happy if they lose. Of course not. But, I can at least be content with it if they at least tried. The past few games, the effort has kind of just not been there. So that's why we're a little disappointed in that. If they can at least put up a fight, I won't be as disappointed. Those are kind of my thoughts on, just the game in general, but I kind of want to ask you this question here, how much does Julius Randle really need to step up? Because I think he's kind of the big guy to really watch for. I think if he does, start playing like his all-NBA self, this could help the Knicks not only win this game, but possibly give him a chance to possibly come back in this series. Jalen Brunson can only do so much. He pretty much did all he could in Game 4 with his 32 and 11. So, I'm just going to kind of ask you, what do you want to see out of Randle tonight in Game 5?
Yeah, not even just for the sake of winning the series, but for the sake of him. I'm not sitting here and saying he doesn't deserve criticism. He has not played well. It has not looked good on him. But seeing people saying he stinks, you turn on WFAN is Julius Randle sucks. No, he doesn't. You're an idiot, right? He's been bad in this series. Yeah. You're an idiot if you think he sucks at basketball. You're objectively stupid if you've watched the entire season. The Knicks are only in this spot because Julius Randle had an all-star season. I don't know what the opinion is of Julius Randle from people viewing this channel. But if you're watching this and you think Julius Randle sucks, you don't know the game of basketball. You do not know the game of basketball. So for the sake of Julius Randle, I just wanted to go out there and have a good game and compete because I need that narrative to go away, right? This isn't a bad basketball player, right? You see polling of the last guy you want taking a shot, or I think it was Craig Carton, who's the last guy you want taking a shot. Julius Randle's on that list. Yes, in comparison to Jalen Brunson, I'd rather have Jalen Brunson taking a shot. But you mean to tell me you'd rather have Isaiah Hartenstein or Miles McBride taking a last shot? That's not on your top 5. You know what I mean? There are really bad basketball players out there. The only reason Julius Randle even has the volume of attempts he does in fourth quarter situations is because he is a good basketball player. You can't have the volume of shot attempts he has on a team that wins as much as the Knicks have this year and not be a good basketball player, right? We see bad basketball players take a bunch of shot attempts on a team that wins 30 games and doesn't come close to the postseason and then trades that player to some other team and he becomes a role player there. Julius Randle was a role player at times, yes, but he immediately became one of he's the Knicks leading scorer. Like, I'm not even sitting here talking about a guy who finished third or fourth on the team in points per game. He was the Knicks team leader in points per game. Yes, above Jalen Brunson in points per game. He was their primary scoring option all season, right? So, just for the sake of actually productive basketball conversation, I want Julius Randle to go out there and perform. Shoot the lights out, stay confident, stay aggressive, and put up a fight. As you mentioned, I don't want them to go home here, right? Like, we agree, we're not going to be happy if they get eliminated, right? But I don't want it to be in game 5 at the Garden. I don't want to go home in 5, right? Get the job done tonight, beat Miami, and now it's a 2-game. Now it's down to 2 games, right? It's 1 game at a time. I think Jalen Brunson said this yesterday, where it's like just 1 game at a time, or maybe it was 2 days ago, but 1 game at a time. You got to take it 1 game at a time. The focus is on game 5. It's not on coming back 3-1. It's on game 5. You win today, you live to fight another day. What do you think about that?
No, I definitely agree, and I just want to see Randall just be composed. Play your game. He knows how he plays. He knows what works and what doesn't work. He works hard enough to know that by now. So I just want to see him play his game. I don't want to see him try anything new or try something drastically different. Just put up a fight and do what you can. I know he's playing hobbled. He's playing with an ankle injury. We all know that story by now. Just do your thing. Don't try to do anything extra. Don't try to, force things that aren't working. Just do what's working. Go with the flow of the game, and it'll get good results. It's as simple as that for Randall. And then in terms of what you said with this game, it's 1 game at a time. Exactly. You can't really focus on 3-1. You just got to take it 1 game at a time, because in reality, it's just 1 win, 1 win, 1 win. That's all you are away from taking that lead and winning the series. That's all you are. But you got to play it 1 game at a time. If you look too far ahead, you'll slip away, and you're going to end up blowing your opportunity. Like we've said, the odds are not against them. It's unfortunate that the Knicks are in this position right now. We're thankful that the Knicks even got this far in the postseason, but we do want to kind of see it continue, especially because we know what this team is capable of. We know this team is capable of making a good run. We don't want to see it end in a disappointing way. The 3-pointers have not been falling. We need to see the threes fall from pretty much just anybody. I'm not going to even single out one guy who's not shooting well. Everyone's not shooting threes well. Everybody needs to step up from outside. That's literally a whole team effort right there. So, just looking at that, I think that's the big catalyst in Game 5. Just shoot the ball, shoot it well. They had a little bit of a better shooting performance in Game 4, but it still was a little subpar. It wasn't anything crazy. I want to see a better improvement in that. I want to see something significant, because if they can shoot a lot better, they can win this game. And if they can continue to shoot that way, then maybe they have a chance to take this series away from Miami. I'm not just going to get too optimistic and say that they definitely have a chance to come back. But in reality, it is true. They do have a chance to come back. It's not 100% over. It's not very highly likely that they're going to come back, but it's also not 0%. So they have a chance, So I guess my next question to you is just what else do you want to see tonight really in Game 5? We talked about the 3-point shooting. We talked about Julius Randle. Is there anyone else in particular that you were watching for to have a big game tonight?
Emmanuel Quickly is my guy, so I'm always going to pick Emmanuel Quickly. We talked about Josh Hart in the previous episode and how important it is for him to just return to being the impactful player he's been, in the regular season and even in the first round. But I think another guy here, not that he's performed poorly, it's actually been the opposite. RJ Barrett's been excellent in this series, but to continue the momentum, right? Again, this team, I feel like, what I don't want to happen is that, Randall gets going and then RJ is either factored out of the offense or isn't able to find a flow going. I want to make sure he's continuing to perform. Again, I've talked about this every time I bring up RJ Barrett. It's like, we could talk about his future in the offseason, but we're not in the offseason. We are in the postseason. And for all intents and purposes, he's playing his mind off right now. He's doing really well offensively. He's one of the Knicks' most reliable scorers in the postseason right now. And his continued success is going to be the only way this team has a shot of getting back into this series, right? The Knicks, I know Jalen Brunson's been pretty good this series, right? You kind of expect Jalen Brunson. He's been Mr. Consistent for the Knicks, I think, all year. Randall is obviously an X factor, right? We talked about him just now. And then there are a lot of role players on the team that have to step up. But if RJ Barrett can continue to succeed, when those guys step up, this team is not just going to be good. This team is going to click, right? It's a matter of if they can just get the guys around them to click, because we talked about this entering the postseason, right? Whether RJ Barrett was good or not was going to play a huge factor in how far the Knicks went. He's playing good. He's checked off his X factor box, but everyone else that we kind of either expected to perform well, whether it was Quickly or Hart, or we'd hope could perform well in Julius Randle, they haven't done the job, right? So if they can click, you just need 3 games, right? No one's expecting them to go to the NBA Finals, right? So you just need this to click for 3 games. I mean, you focus on Game 5, obviously, but if RJ Barrett can continue to play the way he's playing, and you get some semblance of performance from the guys who haven't performed so well, I feel like this team can put themselves right back in the series and make Miami very uncomfortable over the next couple days.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. RJ is going to make a big difference. Like we gave him a lot of crap in round one after game two, specifically in round one, and then he just turned it up a notch, and he silenced us about that. We stopped criticizing him because we realized, he stepped up, he's answered the bell, he's answered all that. Really happy to see what he's been doing. I just want to see that continue. I think everyone wants to see it continue, especially right now in desperation mode where we need to win these games. Need him to step up. Need him to continue playing what he's been doing. Don't need him to change anything crazy right now because he's been playing at his best level, really, that quite frankly I've seen for most of the season. I haven't seen him play this well really all season long. It's been a little kind of topsy-turvy season for RJ. I think we all know that. So really happy to see what he's been doing in the playoffs. I just want to see it continue right now. This is when we need it the most, so I just really want to see that continue. And if he can elevate his game even to a further level, that'd be amazing. Because right now we're going to need that because a lot of guys have been slumping, like you said. Josh Hart had a rough game 4. Emmanuel Quickley's had a bad playoffs. He didn't play in game 4. We don't know if he's going to play tonight. I guess we'll find out more about that later on when it gets closer to game time. Julius Randle's had his struggles this postseason. Even Jalen Brunson's had his struggles here and there. Jalen Brunson's been great this postseason, don't get me wrong, but he has been far from perfect. He's had a couple rough games as well. So just a lot of guys, it's been an uphill battle for these guys. It has been far from easy. I think it's been kind of clear that it's been that way. They fought in round 1, ended up winning it in 5. They fought in this round, but then kind of let their foot off the gas a little bit in games 3 and 4. They kind of let up a little bit. Kind of looked like they didn't want it as much. Maybe that Randle quote is true. Maybe Miami does want it more. Who knows? I don't know if Randle was exactly the one to say that. I don't know if that was the right choice, but regardless, what he said might have very well been true. So the Knicks need to kind of show that they want it. If they don't show enough that they want it, then what's the point? What's the point in prolonging this series, or what's the point in doing what you've been doing if you're not really going to care? You want this. This is your chance. The Knicks have already defied most expectations that anyone really had entering the season. This is their chance to continue, showing people they're a legit team. You know what I mean? This is their chance. This is literally the opportunity. They're playing an 8th seed in the second round. They were kind of gifted with that. They haven't really. I know Miami is not a typical 8th seed, but they've struggled. The Knicks have obviously struggled against them this series. They've looked outmatched. They've looked outcoached. It's just been rough. I want them to just one game at a time. Simple as that. Take this game tonight. My confidence level will rise a little bit, but I really want to see something drastic improvement in something tonight for me to really feel confident that they can possibly come back. If they win this game and it's like in a sloppy way, wasn't the cleanest game, but they just kind of skate by, I won't feel as good because I don't want that. Then that means that energy might continue in game 6, and then when you're on the road, it's going to completely fall apart for you, right? So I just want to see something improve, whether it's 3-point shooting, whether it's Julius Randle, whether it's RJ Barrett taking it to another level, whether it's Josh Hart playing good again, something. I need some sort of drastic improvement. I don't know what it's going to be. Something has to change though. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, they have to. I think they're in need of a season defining win, of one of those wins that we talk about 2 years or now, 3 years from now, that we're tweeting about. Remember this game, or throwback to when, or 2 years ago the Knicks played Game 5 at Madison Square Garden, and this player did that, right? They're in need of just one of those type of games. I'm not saying, obviously, yes, you want to win, but, I feel like it can't just be some, ugly win, right? It has to be, to get yourself back in this series, I think you really got to have that just Madison Square Garden's rocking, get a dub, and then Game 6 becomes, hey, just survive in Miami. Just survive one in Miami. Just survive one game in Miami and bring yourself back home. The pressure, not that it's not on the Knicks, because it is on the Knicks, right? But, this is a team that I think has, as you mentioned, they've defied expectations left and right. So, I personally think that this team is well equipped mentally to handle those expectations once again, and handle the pressure once again, and defy the odds once again. So, again, we acknowledge the fact that the statistical likelihood is that the Knicks will not win this series. I don't think either of us are predicting that they're going to win this series, but we're just acknowledging that there are possibilities and there are ways for them to still win this series. For a final score prediction, my heart is saying, just go out there, they'll have a great game, they'll explode offensively. But that hasn't happened all series, so I'm not going to bet on that. I still think they win. I'll go 110 to 105. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way. Even if the Knicks lose, I don't think they're going to get run off the court. I don't know what you think about that. What's your predictions for a final score?
Right, so I do think the Knicks will win just because they're at home, and I think they're a little more, tough-nosed than that to just lose at home and just give up mid-series. I think they're going to, try to fight. I think Jalen Brunson will hopefully lead this team to kind of, get that energy going and actually, play at their hardest possible level because, quite frankly, their season is on the line. If you lose, you're done. So, I think they're going to play a little harder today. I'm hoping that they do. I'm hoping that the effort is there. And if that is the case, I do think the Knicks will win this game. I think they'll win like 102 to 95. That'll be my prediction. I say it'll be like a 7-point game because I feel like they're going to try a lot harder on defense. I feel like the physicality will definitely be there. I feel like because they're going to be playing desperate. They're not just. I hope they will at least. I don't want to definitely say they will because the effort hasn't really been there in 3 and 4. So I really hope that it changes tonight because it's a must need, right? So. Just looking at that, I think they'll play a tough physical game. I feel like they can win this one because they're at home. The Garden will be rocking for sure, trying to get this Knicks team going a little bit. If you take this game, it's one game at a time. Then you, like you said, survive in Miami. Then you go back home and all of a sudden you have the advantage again. But you have to win these games. There is no excuse at this point. You lose and you're done. So you got to just keep it going. One game at a time. Those are my final thoughts really on it.
Yeah, no, look, end of the day, I agree with you in the sense that they are too. I feel like it's just this team doesn't feel like the type of team to lose at home, but hopefully I'm right about that. Hopefully we're right about that. I don't want to be wrong about that one. But with that being said, we'd love to hear what you guys think in the comment section below. Let us know what your guys' thoughts are, what your emotions are, where your head's at for Game 5. It's been a great journey so far, right? Doing this podcast and getting to cover this Knicks team. There have been ups, there have been downs. We are currently in one of those downs. But if this is the last podcast we do of this season, it's been one of the best experiences I've had covering a team in a very long time. This has been one of the most fun teams, not just, Knicks teams, but whether it's baseball, football, whatever, one of the most fun teams I've gotten to watch as a fan in my entire life. I know it's a brief life, 18 years, but still. And hopefully we can continue to do another episode. Hopefully we're previewing a Game 6, but if not, we'll have you guys with the Game 5 episode for sure. Thank you guys so much for giving us support. We hope to see you guys in the next episode. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Check us out on our YouTube page, of course. You can turn on post notifications to know the next time we post a video. And if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, drop us a 5-star rating. You can follow our personal Twitter accounts above our heads, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.